Every UFC fighter is one of 6 types, and every fight is just types colliding. I'll show you the 6 styles and the one type that wins belts over and over. You can identify any fighter's type in 10 seconds. I'll prove it. Pereira, Holloway, Adesanya, Khabib, Jones, Volkanovski. And the last type? It beats all the others by making every decision feel wrong. This isn't a list. This is the UFC meta. Each style gets broken down, what it looks like, how it wins, and the nightmare matchup. Comment your favorite fighter and I'll tell you their type. Let's start with the most violent one. Type 1 is the kill shot hunter. The star example is Alex Pereira. Here's the core idea. He turns your game plan into a street fight. The tell is simple. Watch his left hand. If it drops just before he moves, the left hook is loading. That's where 80% of his knockouts come from. What does this style look like in the cage? Low kicks that change your stance. Exchanges where both fighters can get slept. Your opponent starts hesitating after one bad moment. That hesitation is the trap. Here's the weapon. Damage plus panic plus tempo disruption equals 1 finish window. He doesn't need 5 rounds. He needs 5 seconds where you think wrong. UFC 300 against Jamahal Hill proves it. Hill talks trash for weeks. Pereira waves off the ref after a low blow, stays calm, then flatlines Hill with a left hook 10 seconds later, stood over him, ice cold. But here's the tax you pay for being a kill shot hunter. You beat chaos with control or you drown in it. One clean counter can end the chaos before it starts, but you have to stay calm when his left hand is hunting. Most can't. And if chaos is fire, the next type is oxygen, because the pace thief doesn't care about moments. He cares about breaking your lungs. Type 2 is the pace thief. Max Holloway is the blueprint. He doesn't chase knockouts. He erases your round 5. Here's the tell. Watch the first 30 seconds. If he's moving forward with no urgency, just touching, resetting, you're about to watch someone drown on land. What it looks like. Touch, pressure. Opponent backing up unconsciously. Late round surges when you're mentally gone. He threw 445 strikes against Calvin Kattar. That's a UFC record. The weapon is simple. Win minutes. Get the late collapse. He's not trying to hurt you in round 1. He's making round 5 impossible. UFC 300 again. Fighting Justin Gaethje for the BMF belt. 10 seconds left in the final round. Holloway points to the center of the cage. Both fighters meet. Max knocks him out cold with 1 second remaining. Then he says, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC, baby." That's a pace thief. Here's the tax. One clean counter can turn pressure into regret. If you catch him stepping in carelessly, the pace stops. But you need timing and power. Most don't have both. And that's why the timing thief is the scariest antidote to volume, because he doesn't fight your pace. He punishes it. Type 3 is the timing thief. Israel Adesanya is the master. Core idea. He makes you lose the fight to yourself. The tell. Watch his hips. If they fake before his hands move, he's reading you. Every feint is a test. When you react, that's when he strikes. What it looks like. He invites entries. He reads patterns. He makes you pay once and you stop trying. The weapon removes confidence, makes the opponent tentative, and wins the fight psychologically. Most strikers force the action. Adesanya forces the mistake. UFC 287 is the perfect example. Fighting Alex Pereira in the rematch. Pereira's controlling the fight. Then Adesanya reads one entry, lands 2 right hands, and Pereira crumbles in round 2. Revenge complete. But here's the tax. Timing doesn't matter if you can't stay standing. Wrestling breaks rhythm. Pressure breaks space. If you take away his distance, you take away his read. And that's when the cage jailer shows up. The type that turns beautiful striking into a fence and a prayer. Type 4 is the cage jailer. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the definition. Core idea, it's not a takedown. It's a prison sentence. The tell is brutal. Watch what he does when you back up to the cage. If he shoots a single leg and immediately switches to a body lock when you defend, you're about to spend 3 minutes on your back. What it looks like. Shot, reshot, fence lock, mat return. You stand up just to get put back down. The crowd sees control. The fighter feels suffocation. The weapon is exhaustion, plus position, plus inevitability. He doesn't finish you fast. He makes you quit. UFC 229 against Conor McGregor, the biggest trash talker in MMA history. Khabib mauls him, takes him down, smothers him, submits him in round 4, then jumps the cage and starts a brawl. 29-0. Never lost a fight. Here's the tax. The only hope is denying the first connection, because once he touches you, you belong to him. Perfect takedown defense is the only answer. One slip and the fight is over. But there's a darker cousin to this style, the one that doesn't even need takedowns to steal rounds. Type 5 is the position thief. John Jones built the blueprint. Core idea, he wins positions, not exchanges. The tell, watch his lead hand in the clinch. If he's controlling your wrist, not your body, he's setting up elbows, knees, or a trip. You won't see it coming. What it looks like: wrist control, head position, elbows in tight spaces, trips when you're tired of defending. The weapon steals posture, steals your gas tank, steals rounds quietly. He doesn't knock you out. He makes you feel like you're fighting in quicksand. UFC 140 against Lyoto Machida. Machida had never been submitted in the UFC. Jones traps him in a standing guillotine. Machida goes completely unconscious. Jones gently lays him down. Surgical. Here's the tax. You need clean exits, but he's built to punish exits. If you disengage wrong, you eat an elbow. If you stay, you drown. He designed the trap. Now, here's the final boss. The type that can borrow from every style above and make you feel like every choice is wrong. Type 6 is the problem solver. Alexander Volkanovski is the example. Core idea: he doesn't fight your fight. He makes your strengths betray you. The tell: watch the first minute of every round. If he's switching stances, feinting kicks, then jabbing, he's mapping your reactions. By round 3, he solved you. What it looks like: wins first minute of rounds. Feint to jab, to angle, to clinch touch to exit. Denies your best weapon before you even throw it. The weapon minimizes risk, maximizes control. You can't surprise him. He's already seen it, tested it, and has the counter ready. UFC 266 against Brian Ortega. Ortega nearly submits him with a guillotine in round 3. Volk survives, comes back in round 4, systematically breaks Ortega down, wins on the scorecards, never panicked once. The tax is simple: real chaos, real danger. The kind that breaks rhythm. You need to force him into a fight where adjustments don't matter. One-shot power, unreadable aggression, anything that doesn't give him time to think. Let's lock it in. Killshot hunter equals moments. Pace thief equals lungs. Timing thief equals confidence. Cage jailer equals prison. Position thief equals posture. Problem solver equals choices. The UFC isn't random. It's these 6 types colliding. Titles usually go to the fighter who can switch types mid-fight. Here's the meta that decides most fights. Pressure breaks space because forward movement takes away the counter-striker's distance. Wrestling breaks rhythm because once you're defending takedowns, your striking timing disappears. Range breaks brawlers because if you can't reach them, your power means nothing. If you know the styles, you can see the ending before the ref raises a hand. But here's where it gets deeper. These types don't just exist in isolation. They evolve based on matchups. The killshot hunter struggles against the cage jailer because chaos needs space, and wrestling takes it away. The pace thief dominates the position thief because constant forward pressure denies the clinch setups. The timing thief beats the killshot hunter because patience beats aggression when you can read the patterns. The problem solver beats almost everyone because adaptation is the ultimate weapon. This is why Volkanovski held the belt for so long. He could be a pace fighter against counter-strikers. He could be a wrestler against pure strikers. He could be defensive against brawlers. That's the difference between good fighters and great champions. Watch how styles dictate entire careers. Pereira knocked out Adesanya in kickboxing twice because chaos broke timing in a pure striking environment. But when Adesanya got the rematch in MMA, he used more movement and wrestling threats to disrupt Pereira's rhythm. Styles adapting to styles. Holloway never fought Khabib, but you can predict that matchup. The pace thief gets neutralized by the cage jailer because wrestling stops forward momentum dead. You can't throw 400 strikes when you're on your back for 15 minutes. Jones never fought Khabib either, but the position thief versus the cage jailer would be fascinating. 2 control artists trying to impose their will. Whoever gets their grips first probably wins the fight. Here's the cheat code for watching UFC fights. Before the fight starts, identify both types. Ask yourself, whose style cancels whose weapon? If a killshot hunter fights a cage jailer, the wrestler probably wins unless he gets caught early. If a pace thief fights a timing thief, watch the first round. Whoever establishes their rhythm first controls the entire fight. If a problem solver fights anyone, watch how they adjust after round 1. That's when they start downloading their opponent's patterns. The finish usually comes in rounds 3 or 4 when the adjustments compound. And here's the final piece most fans miss. The best fighters don't just master one type, they blend them. Volkanovski can be a problem solver, but he's also got pace thief cardio. Jones is a position thief, but he's got killshot hunter power in those elbows. Adesanya is a timing thief, but he can turn into a pace thief when opponents get too passive. The ability to switch types mid-fight is what separates champions from contenders. When you see a fighter changing styles between rounds, that's high-level MMA. They're not just fighting, they're problem-solving in real time. So here's the question. Which type is the most overrated, and which is the hardest to beat right now? Drop your favorite fighter's name in the comments. I'll tell you their type and their nightmare matchup. And if you want me to break down a specific fight using these types, let me know. Because once you see the types, You can't unsee them. Every UFC fight becomes predictable, every matchup makes sense, and you'll know who wins before they even touch gloves.